Hello everyone, my name is Aviral and today I will be talking about AWS IAM, that is Identity and Access Management. This is one of the most important security services in AWS, allowing us to control who can access AWS resources and what actions they can perform. So, by the end of this presentation, I hope you will understand the key components of IAM, how it works, and best practices to keep your AWS environment secure. So, let's get started. So, AWS IAM or Identity and Access Management is basically a cloud security service that enables us to control and manage user access to AWS resources. So in short, it basically ensures that the right people have the right access at the right time. Now a question arises, why is IAM important? So it basically has three reasons. It helps manage access control securely, it ensures security policies and prevents unauthorized actions, and it enables role based access control, reducing risk associated with human errors. Without IAM, AWS resources would be exposed to unauthorized users, making them vulnerable to security threats. Now, let's break down the key components of IAM. Firstly, users. These are the individual people or applications that access AWS service. Each user has specific permissions assigned. Secondly, groups. A collection of users that share the same permissions. Instead of assigning permissions individually, we can assign them at the group level. Thirdly, we have roles. These are used to grant temporary permissions to AWS services or external users without needing credentials. And lastly, we have policies. These define what actions are allowed or denied for users, groups, or roles in AWS. Policies are written in JSON format and enforce security rules. So these components together help in secure structuring access control effectively. Now, IAM policies define who can access AWS resources and what they can do. So they are written in JSON format and follow an allow and deny structure. Now, basically, there are three types of IAM policies. AWS managed policies. These policies are predefined by AWS for common use cases. Customer managed policies. These policies are custom policies that users can create. And lastly, inline policies that are embedded directly within roles, groups, and users. IAM permissions follow a simple principle. If a policy explicitly allows an action, access is granted, and if a policy does not allow denies an action, then the access is denied. This ensures that only authorized users perform specific actions in AWS. Now, there are certain practices that are involved in IAM that help in a secure AWS environment. Firstly, principle of least privilege. They grant only permissions to users needed and nothing more. Use IAM roles instead of the root user. The root user has unlimited access, so it should be used only for account setup. Third, enable multi-factor authentication. This adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verification. Now, we can also allow more security by rotating access keys regularly. If access keys are compromised, rotating them minimizes the security risks. And lastly, monitor the activity of IAM with AWS CloudTrail. So, track and audit user actions to detect suspicious behavior can prevent unauthorized access and maintain a protective environment. Now, we summarize what we have learned today. So, AWS IAM allows us to manage who can access AWS resources and what actions they can perform. Key components include users, groups, roles, and policies. These policies are defined using permissions using JSN. And the best practices of maintaining a secure environment involve giving least privileges, multi-factor authentication, and monitoring. By implementing IAM, we can secure AWS environments and prevent unauthorized access effectively. That brings us to the end of this session. I hope this session helped you understand AWS IAM. Thank you.